Welcome back to Professional Attention Seekers, the podcast where we break down the art of standing out in a crowded world. My name is Lucy Banks and I'm your podcast host, queen of marketing in OnlyFans and the spicy world. Today we're cutting straight to the facts. Here are 10 reasons why your OnlyFans is staying stagnant. No fluff, no bullshit. I'm going to be harsh, but we're going to get straight into it. A lot of people think that the way to grow an OnlyFans is to be posting on social media. You post every now and then, and hopefully the subscribers will flood in, right? But that's not always the case. You get to a point where you're feeling like you're burnt out. You feel like you're ready to give up because you're putting all this effort in and your OnlyFans isn't growing. This isn't you failing at OnlyFans. This is you being stagnant. And this is the time for you to identify why and how you're going to fix it. If you feel like you're treading water and you're putting all this effort in, you're taking all this content, you're posting everywhere, but it's not moving the needle, your OnlyFans isn't growing, then this is the episode for you to identify what's going wrong and how you're going to pivot and how you're going to fix it. Number one, your funnel is letting you down. So I want you to think of your OnlyFans journey in a funnel sense, because let's not forget, this is a business. Your funnel is where somebody first hears of you. That's your starting point. It then goes down into they may follow you on social media or they watch more of your TikToks. And then eventually they subscribe to your OnlyFans, and that's the end goal. They're not going to get to your OnlyFans if you don't support them down the funnel. There are a few reasons why your funnel may be letting you down, and you might not even realize. If you're referring to yourself on Instagram, if your handle on Instagram is hotbabe123, but then you refer to yourself as Sarah Jones, but then your OnlyFans handle is Sarah's Sexy Page. Those are all disconnected. You want your audience to be able to Google Sarah and it comes up with your Instagram, your OnlyFans, your Twitter, your PR, your articles. Everything needs to be in sync. Now, you might be really attached to your Instagram name of Sarah Sexy Babe 123 or whatever I said before. You might be attached to that. You'd be like, no, that's what I identify as. You need to change it. It needs to be your name. You need to have a first name and a last name. This isn't about what your persona is. That people will learn that once they go to your page. But babe, people can't find your page if you're not going to have your funnel set up. So how do we fill your funnel? We want people to be guided down and subscribe to your OnlyFans as an end goal. This isn't a scavenger hunt. Don't make it hard for them. It's almost like you need to hold their hand and be like, okay, hi, this is my name. Okay, hi, this is my Instagram. Do you want to see more? Here's my link in bio. Then you can subscribe. You need to have their hand held the entire way of that journey. So if your usernames are out, if you're not posting consistently, I know it sounds really obvious, but you actually need to have in your Instagram stories, hey, I'm on my spicy site tonight, or hey, have you checked out the link in my bio? Yes, some people may click on it without you having those call to actions, but some people won't as well. Some people won't even realize, and it depends on what generation, as who's in your funnel, as to how easily they're going to be able to find your link. You need to hold their hand and help them see it through. Number two, you're treating it like a side gig, not a real business. There are people that come into OnlyFans and they do want to make a little bit of money on the side, and that is perfectly fine. I think that is a great option for people. If you want to keep your full-time job, you want to do what you're doing, have a side gig, great, love that for you. However, if you're looking at OnlyFans as a career, you need to treat it as a career. You can't just say to your office job like, I'm too tired, I'm not going to come in today, or I don't feel like doing it, so I'm not going to do it. You're not going to get paid if you don't do the job. And OnlyFans is the same. There is a certain type of discipline that it needs to take to be self-employed in general. But OnlyFans, I think, takes it to a whole new level. You need to be so much more disciplined than in any other job. If you are just going to post here and there and expect that you're going to be successful, it doesn't work like that anymore, and I'm sorry. If you want OnlyFans to make money like a full-time business, you need to be showing up consistently. You need to be posting every single day. And if you can't post every day, you need to identify that. Don't kid yourself. Don't say, I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to post 3 reels a day. be realistic, and look at scheduling software. There's some really good options out there available. Off the top of my head, you've got Repurpose, you've got Metrical, you can even schedule in Instagram itself. You need to think ahead and have everything mapped out so you know that you're going to be showing up even when you're not. Most people who are successful on OnlyFans batch their content. They're not on Instagram every single day. They've got it scheduled months in advance because they're working smarter, not harder. Once they know that their social medias are scheduled, they can go off and do other things that move the needle, like creating content for OnlyFans and doing other marketing. That's the way that people do it. You also have the option of hiring someone. Look at social media management if it's something that you don't want to deal with. There's a lot of different options on how you can do it, but it all comes down to consistency. You need to show up every single day. I know it's hard, babe, but we can do it. Number 3, your content isn't landing. You don't need to be seeing what everybody else is doing and being like, oh, Lauren posted a photo in a bikini. I don't post bikini photos. I should post bikini photos. Or like Amanda's posting photos of her being on a plane. Why don't I have any plane photos? I should go fly on a plane. It does not matter what everybody else is doing. You need to do what works for you and do it over and over again. Rinse and repeat. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. If you're putting posts up of you playing hockey and that's what's getting views and comments, then you need to keep playing hockey, babe. Keep posting that over and over again. If I go to my favorite restaurant and I'm like, I love going to this restaurant because they serve my favorite Prosecco and I want to sit down and have my glass of Prosecco. And then they bring me a red wine because they're like, oh, we thought you might want to try that, Lucy. I'm going to be like, no, I want my Prosecco. What is performing well for you might not perform well for somebody else, and that's good. You don't need to be looking what other people are doing. You just need to do what works for you. I know creators who literally will post the same thing every single day, and their views just skyrocket because people follow them because they know what to expect. They like seeing someone walk in gym pants, or they like seeing someone salsa dance, but they're not wearing underwear underneath. They've got like a G-banger on, or, something niche. Identify what your niche is, hold on to that niche, and like I said before, rinse and repeat, keep doing it. With everything in the world feeling inconsistent, you should be the one consistency in somebody's life. Number 4, you're not connecting to your fans. It's one thing to post on social media, post on your OnlyFans wall, drop some PPV, pay-per-view content in your inbox. But there is a whole nother world once you start actually interacting with your fans and having conversations with them without the intention of getting money. And I know that might sound a bit counterintuitive, but stay with me. Connection is what sets OnlyFans apart from any other spicy website, your Pornhubs, your anything else. OnlyFans is about connection. If you're not making those, if you're not having those conversations with customers, if you're not messaging them to say like, hey, when's your birthday? Or I just found out I'm compatible with an Aquarius. I hope you're an Aquarius. Or, hey, I'm looking for a Netflix recommendation. What have you watched lately? If you're not having those non-sexual conversations with them, when they are horny and they want to be sexing with somebody, they're not going to even know about you. They're going to go to the other girl who's connected to them and they feel like they have a relationship with. Other people are putting in the time to talk to their subscribers and establish relationships. If you're not doing it, you're missing out. There's a good reason why people would prefer to have sex than to just watch porn. It's the relationship and the connection. Number 5, you're charging too much and the effort doesn't match the price. If you're charging $30 for a subscription fee and you're only posting bikini photos, whereas the girl next to you is charging $3 and posting full sex tapes, then it's possible you're a little bit unrealistic with your pricing. Yes, we don't want to undervalue what we're doing. And obviously there is a huge responsibility when you're putting yourself out there with such intimacy. You need to make sure that you're being accommodated monetarily. I understand it's really nerve-wracking when you're putting yourself out there and there's such intimate content of you on the internet. However, if you've already made the decision to do that, you need to understand that you will not be making hundreds of dollars per photo. You're out there and you need to price yourself realistically while also not undervaluing your work and being comfortable with your price point. This is probably one of the only scenarios where I would say, have a look and see what other people are doing. Work out what your place is in the market. If you are a brand new creator, you're not going to be able to charge what an established creator is, or somebody who's just started an OnlyFans and they're already an influencer, they already have an audience. Those creators are going to be able to charge a premium. And until you get there and you do your time at that lower price, then it's going to be difficult for you to grow and you're charging $30 a month. Don't undervalue yourself, but look around, be realistic, and make sure your content is reflecting the price that you are charging. Reason number 6, you're not promoting enough. Instagram is great, and I would say that the majority of subscribers are posting there. But if you're in this industry, if you've only been in this industry for 5 minutes, you are already aware that your Instagram is something you can't get attached to because they are taken down constantly without rhyme or reason. If that is where you're posting and that's where all of your subscribers are coming from, you need to look at an alternative platform. There are so many different ways out there that you can be promoting. Social media consists of, there's your Twitter, Reddit, Facebook. You can even get some really good traction on Facebook, which I think is underrated. YouTube. You need to have another social media. I wouldn't recommend going across all of them, but 1 or 2 that you focus on. There's also doing PR. There's also doing shout out for shout outs. There is so many different ways to promote yourself. But if you're just choosing one channel and that channel goes down, you've completely lost your business, and that's not a smart way to do things. Not promoting enough is going to shoot you in the foot at some point. Choose 1 or 2, choose 2 to 3 platforms, focus hard on them, but you need to have a backup for when your Instagram is inevitably deleted. Don't get too attached for it. Your Instagram is not something that you own. It's a tool that you're using at the time. Make sure you've got more. The internet is more than just Instagram and TikTok. There are so many other tools out there, but we'll go deeper into that on another episode. That's a whole episode just on its own. Number 7, you have no personality. And I don't mean that like you have no personality, because you do, but you're not showing it on social media. If you like to go skateboarding with your friends, if you like to get drunk at the pub, if you like to be a homemaker, you need to be showing that on your social media. People aren't going to connect with just the basic photos that you're putting out there, because they're a dime a dozen. The people that I personally connect with most on social media are ones who are being a little bit silly. They're being a little bit fun. It's not polished content. That makes you relatable, and that builds the connection with people. You have a personality. Show it. Don't let people go onto your Instagram and just think that you're boring, because you're not. You can have fun with this. No one's going to want to jerk off to you if they feel like they can't have a conversation with you. Number 8, you're not leveraging PPV. Now, let me explain this to you. PPV is pay-per-view. This is content that you can tailor specifically to your audience. You can tailor it specifically to a subset of your audience. Do you have a group of subscribers who are into feet content or anal? Or there's so many different areas that you can be making custom content for and tailoring it to them. There are times where I would have a custom request and he would be like, I'll tip you this much to moan my name. My name is Justin. You know what I'm doing? I'm making sure I send that content to every single subscriber I've got whose name is Justin. PPV is like the magic. That is not only where you can charge higher prices, it's also where you can make strong connections as well. PPV is where you need to be. Number 9, you're not thinking long term. I'm going to be realistic here, and you can agree with me or you can disagree with me. OnlyFans is not long term. I do think that porn, or being in the adult industry, is a career. It's not something that you necessarily age out of. There are people that are, in their 50s and 60s who are still making so much money on this in this industry. But mentally and also physically, you will burn out, and there will be a time where you'll get to and you'll be like, I cannot do one more custom video, or I cannot post to Instagram again. You will burn out, and I see it time and time again. So knowing that, what's your long-term plan? What's after OnlyFans? Are you going to be Are you going to be a social media influencer? Do you want to start another business? Do you want to leverage what you've created on OnlyFans and build something off that, like I've done with Million Billion Media? OnlyFans is great. We love OnlyFans. Let's not argue that. But what are you doing long term? You need to have those goals in mind to make sure that you stay motivated with OnlyFans. This episode is about staying stagnant and how to avoid that. But if you've got your long-term goals in mind and you have a long-term plan, it's easier for you to keep scaling your OnlyFans, knowing where you're going in the future. And finally, number 10, spreading your roots. Let's talk about rooting. One of the best parts for OnlyFans is that it is a community, and collaborating and working with like-minded creators can be a game changer for you. You don't need to be an island. If there are other creators in your niche, if your niche is, let's say hypothetically, you're a dominatrix, go and do content with other dominatrixes and utilize their audience, leverage of what they've built and let them access your network. Spread those roots. It makes you deeper in not only the community, but it also expands your audience. Do not gatekeep. Do not be so protective of your audience that you're not accessing other people's. This is a community and there is room for everybody to succeed. Spread your roots. All right, babes, that is 10 reasons why your OnlyFans may be staying stagnant and actionable steps to fix it. My name is Lucy Banks. Thank you for tuning in for another episode. If you've liked this, please share it with another creator. Take a screenshot of your phone and post on your stories. Tag us that you're listening to it. We'll retag it. And let's help build this community. We'll catch you next time for another episode on how to scale your OnlyFans.